Good evening, everyone. Just a quick little bit about myself. My family came to Canada when I was 5 months old from Ireland. My mom and dad were very, very passionate about the iron and steel industry. My mom ironed and my dad stole. I told that 2 years ago here for the first time, and I got a similar laugh and a few groans. Want to thank a couple of guests that I invited here tonight. Quentin Richardson, he's the son of co-founder of Progressive Planet, David Richardson, my co-founder, and a guy who believed in some of the crazy ideas that I had back in 2018 that are now being commercialized with some of the biggest companies in the world. Want to thank Ian McLean. Where are you, Ian? Don't see you. And he's here, McLean Capital, Montreal-based manager of individual funds. And he's here with his dad, and I haven't met his dad, but I understand you're a big fan of your son. And if anyone wants to hear something good about Ian, just ask his father, who's standing right next to him. And then also my uncle's here, Richard Tanguay. Don't see where he's sitting, but there he is. That's a little joke. I'm good friends with him. He's only a few years older. Thank you again, everyone. So I thought I was going to be reading off my laptop. My glasses aren't that great, so I'm going to turn around and read and attempt to swivel a little bit here. We're a profitable, vertically integrated clean tech manufacturer, and we're focused on a group of materials that we call silicates. We have very robust cash flow, very respectable gross margins. Last quarter, we had 38.5% gross margins. In our industry, our peers are typically about 27, 28%. So we have several unique products, very strong brands, which enables us to enjoy these strong gross margins. In conjunction with legacy products that we've sold for decades, the business was founded in 1989. Progressive bought our flagship wholly owned subsidiary, Progressive Planet Products, in February of 2022. But we have a series of other products that are also made from silicates, and those are supplementary cementing materials that offer very strong blue sky or upside. And we don't need to take other people's money to fund the innovation. We fund all of our innovation out of our cash flow. One of the key competitive advantages is that we own multiple quarries with long lives of reserves, so we're fully vertically integrated. And we have a disciplined management team. We really focus on controlling our costs. So our areas of expertise, focusing on what we know best, silicate minerals. We extract silicates, diatomaceous earth, bentonite, clay. You may not have heard of these things, but if you go to any Canadian Tire in Canada, you've got products that are certified, which is their house brand, that are made in Kamloops in over 600 locations. We make cat litter for all of the Costco locations in BC. We're in every home hardware in Canada. So we make, I have a saying that if I can't take a product that we make and put it on my kitchen table while my kids are eating breakfast, I won't make it. So our sort of mantra is products for a healthy planet, and you can make money making healthy products. So product innovation is supported by a strong IP portfolio. One of our top 3 products is patented in the US until 2033. It's called Activated Barn Fresh. It has 2 ingredients in it, diatomaceous earth from our mine and food-grade citric acid, and it mitigates the formation of ammonia in chicken barns. The chickens breathe easier, they mature faster, they eat more, and the humans working in the barns breathe cleaner air. And so that's an ag tech innovation that we have a patent on until November of 2033. So again, all of our product manufacturing is centered around silicate-based raw materials. So what are silicates? Silicates are non-crystalline silica. We often hear about crystalline silica and how it causes silicosis. So crystalline silica, it's a lattice and it can grab your flesh. Amorphous silicates we deal with, they have no crystalline structure, so they don't cause silicosis. I'm always warned not to get too technical, so that is as technical as I get. I'm constantly told, keep it at a high level, so that is the depth of my technical. If anybody wants to talk technical with me after, happy to oblige. The people laughing know me. So our businesses, we have absorbents and animal health products since 1989. Progressive Planet bought the business in February of 2022. The business was formed, our base business, in Kamloops in 1989. So we leverage the minerals from the company's assets to create eco-friendly products, cat litter, natural animal food additives, odor control solutions, bedding for chickens, and then industrial absorbents that are chemical-free. The vertical integration, we own the quarries, we do the manufacturing, and then we do the distribution. The only part of the vertical integration, we do not own any of our own rolling stock. We have always found that it makes more sense to use trucking firms. So we use one trucking firm to do all of our raw ore transportation to our central 6-acre production facility in Kamloops. And we use about a dozen firms for outbound logistics. And the firm that we use most is Bison Transport, which is a large Canadian company out of Winnipeg. So we have a growing list of applications of eco-conscious mineral-based products. Trailing 12 months, well over 20 million. In the fiscal year that ended April 30th, we did 19.6 million. I don't think we'll ever see that sort of annual revenue that low going forward. 6 acres of manufacturing facilities, 4 production lines, over 2 million products sold annually, and we are B2B. We don't do direct to consumer, we don't do pallets, we sell full truckloads to distributors and national chains. Some of our customer favorites, Red Lake Earth. This has a cult-like following in the States. It has a renowned ability. Like WD-40, it has many off-label uses. The biggest one that it is used for is that it desiccates and dehydrates fire ants. So the nasty red ants that nobody wants on their property, you spread this on their anthills and it dehydrates them when they walk on it. And we see a massive increase in sales from May to October, which is your red ant season in the States. Activated Burn Fresh is our patented ammonia mitigation solution. It's certified organic. Stall Dry is a chemical-free solution for deodorizing and absorbing urine from horse stalls. Anybody who knows a horse owner or who is a horse owner, they spend a lot of money, and we see very strong margins, and we're the industry leader in North America in this product category. Can Dry, we've been selling it since 1989. I joke, if you look at the logo, it looks just like Petro-Canada. We had it trademarked 6 years before them in the early 90s. We haven't litigated them yet, but we had it first. So entry into lightweight cat litter. We've been selling cat litter since 1989. With traditional clumping cat litter, it's made from bentonite clay. It weighs about 70 pounds a cubic foot. And for lightweight, you want to be at 40 or 35 pounds. So we recently signed a licensing agreement using a technology for a large international player listed on New York Stock Exchange. And we are entering into the lightweight litter business, paying a royalty of 3% to use their patented solution to make our lightweight product, our diatomaceous earth clump. We're very excited about the growth from this. First sales will be in about February. North American cat litter business, who would have thought? Multi-billion-dollar business. One of the things I like about the products, if you lose your job, your cat pees and poops the exact same number of times, whether you have a job or not. And in fact, some of the products that we sell, you're more likely to use in a recession. You're more likely to change the oil in your car in your own driveway and spill it if you're unemployed. And then you'll go to Canadian Tire or go to Princess Auto and buy Can Dry. So we tend to not see, we don't sell mink coats. We sell consumables that are important for everyday life. So we have major new private label SKUs with Western Canadian retailer. Not allowed to say the name, but a multi-billion-dollar, 1,500 locations, grocery stores and gas stations in Western Canada. We make all of their private label cat litter now, and now they're moving into the lightweight litter. So we also intend to create our own brand, WonderCat. We sell WonderCat all throughout Western Canada. It's in every Costco in BC, so WonderCat Light is a natural extension of our own brand. One of the points is that for over a decade, there were very few new products, and over the last 18 months into the next 6 months, we've got a tremendous series of new products that we've just started to sell or will sell imminently, and I've got some props I'm going to show you shortly of a new product that we introduced November 1st into the US that we're very excited about. Geothermal grout. There's been a real strong move into the installation of heat pumps that exchange heat either from the air or from the ground. And when you go into the ground with a heat line, if you go vertically, you need to ensure that the pipe is constantly in contact with the earth. So they use something called a geothermal grout, which expands and contracts with the soil around it. And this is a byproduct material from the dust from cat litter that we make. And so we used to take that dust and use enormous amounts of energy to compress it back into rocks, wet it again, extrude it. Now we developed this product, and in Q1 our sales were up over 150%, essentially monetizing a waste stream. I'm absolutely super excited about this line, Pure DE. So our president of our company, who's been 35 years, was supposed to go and present to our largest customer in the US in May, and his son fell ill. Perfect today, but the night before the trip, and he said, "Steve, you're going." So I had to fly down. I hadn't even seen the presentation. I contacted our top sales gentleman out of Ontario and said, "Meet me in Nashville." And I presented a new brand. And this company we've been dealing with for 20 years, we had 3 SKUs, and they introduced 3 new SKUs and a new brand, and it's called Pure DE. We had been selling this product for over a decade out of a quarry out of Eastern Oregon. When we bought the Canadian assets of the gentleman that sold us, his US assets were sold to someone else, and we lost about 10% of our revenue in 2023, and about 10 months ago we got it back. So we started selling an existing brand called White Lake Earth, and then we introduced this new one, Pure DE. So our biggest customer in the US, over 2,400 locations, we're in every one. We replaced our competitor. So this is Pure DE, a 20-pound bag, and if you look on their website, I'm not supposed to say their name in public, but we started shipping this November 1st, and it's been a phenomenal uptake. And then we have a puffer bottle. So this is great for inside your home if you got bed bugs, you got insects you want to dehydrate. If your cat or your dog eats this, it doesn't harm them. There's no chemicals in it. It's just diatomaceous earth. We've shipped 14,400 of these bottles since November 1st. We've never sold this. We never had this brand. So for those people, Matthew, you wanted to see when we're going to start growing, these are the things that we're doing to bring in new products. I'm very excited about this We're not cannibalizing our existing SKUs. These are new buyers. And so I'm very excited about this line. So we did, with growth, we had a phenomenal Q1 27% increase in our revenue over the prior year. In Q2, we replaced our legacy robot that was 18 years old, and we retooled 3 of our 4 production lines. So we did shut down our plant for several weeks. We're catching up in November. That was a one-time. Millions of dollars have been invested over the last 18 months in automation, robotics, and a lot of those investments, the equipment showed up in October, and we did some retooling and some shutdowns. When you report quarter to quarter, everybody wants you to grow in a perfect diagonal, but the reality is it goes like this, and so there is some seasonality, and as you are investing for growth, we will see some of the dynamics of that, but we are absolutely in growth mode. Solutions for cement replacement. Why? The production of Portland cement creates 7% of global greenhouse gases. To dramatically reduce the carbon footprint of cement, the Romans figured out 2,000 years ago that if you added silicates to calcium, that Roman concrete lasted for millennia and not decades. If anyone's had the privilege of going to Rome and walking into the Pantheon, that there's some argument about exactly, but it's somewhere between 1950 and 2,000 years old. There's not one crack in that dome. There's no rebar in it. There's an oculus around the top, so there's all kinds of gravitational force on that, and it looks like brand new concrete. And it's a combination of volcanic ash, which is rich in silicates, the same minerals that we use, and calcium. And it's a testament to the durability of Roman concrete. So also a circular economy. We're moving from just traditional quarrying into urban mining. I do have a saying that I don't believe in the word waste. Humans are the only species that actually generate waste. I prefer to refer to it as misallocated resources. How big is this market? The biggest thing that we consume in humans in the world every year is fresh water. Number 2 is ready-mix concrete. So I take great comfort in knowing our markets are huge. How am I doing for time? About 6 minutes. Thank you. So one of the things that we mitigate, and you may not know what ASR is or concrete cancer, but you look at sort of any bridge and columns and you see this crumbling concrete, and a lot of it is a symptom called ASR or alkali silica reactivity. Again, I'm not going to get technical about it, but the first cement that I invented that we are now commercializing, Pawsglass, is phenomenal at mitigating the formation of concrete cancer. Pierre, you can congratulate me on keeping it at a high level later. Progressive Granite and Amrise, formerly known as Lafarge, the biggest free world cement company in the world. Early on, we demonstrated to them. We did a large amount of testing in their Seattle labs, so independent verification. They were quite excited, and they partnered with us to be our technical advisor on our pilot plant. And so they have to buy up to 3,500 tons of Pawsglass that we produce. I do have samples of Pawsglass, the glass before the Pawsglass and so on, in my knapsack. And if anybody wants to see it afterwards, after all the speeches, I'm happy to show it to you. So we got a long-term commercialization strategy, which includes licensing Pawsglass as a royalty-based solution. The last significant money that we are spending is on our pilot plant. We are going to a royalty-based model, and we were very blessed to receive $5.7 million of non-dilutive grants from the province of BC and the federal government They believe very strongly in what we are doing and provided this money to build this pilot plant. To scale, there's over 2,600 cement plants globally. One of the things that we do with the production of pause glass is we actually harvest CO2 from a flue stack and convert it into a rock limestone. Again, I have samples that I can show anyone who wants to see that afterwards. So the second cement that I invented is called Gladiator, and that's a tribute to Roman concrete, but it's also an acronym. GLAD stands for glass, limestone, and diatomite. And this is a very exciting cement for us because it contains only 10% of pause glass. So there's a limited supply. There's about 20 million tons of glass consumed in North America a year. By developing a second cement, we can make that go 10 times further by developing another cement that has exceptional performance attributes, but is only 10% glass. And we filed our patents, a provisional patent on that about 10 weeks ago. And we have multiple versions of Gladiator. We go to where there are large supplies of waste diatomaceous earth powder, and then we look to develop that. So we currently have two versions of Gladiator in the continental US under development as we speak. Fiscal 2025 highlights. We did about 19.5, almost 19.6 in revenue. It was a slight decline over the prior year. We saw the huge change in that in Q1. But we had an increase of 105% in our EBITDA, improving margins, disciplined cost control. And we had net income of 1.7 million, which was, of course, the prior year was a loss of 400, so it was a delta increase of 2.1 million. Q1 was really a big quarter for us. We had just shy of 6 million, which was a 26.6% increase over prior year, and adjusted EBITDA in the quarter of 1.4, and we had a 1.6 million of net income. In the net income figure, we had some legacy losses that, with the improvement in our financials, our auditors enabled us to start recognizing some of these tax losses. So that's built into the net income, the recognizing that we will be able to utilize some of the legacy losses of the company. So we installed a new robot at the end of Q1. Gross margins very strong, up 5%. I talked about how we had a shutdown of 3 of our 4 production lines for retooling. The robot you see here, the robot we had for 18 years, it could stack 10 bags on 1 pallet per minute. The new one can do 17, so it's a 70% increase, but it can also take 2 different bags or 2 different boxes and put them on 2 different pallets. Why is that important? Because our 2 top production lines are 80% of our revenue, and until this robot was installed, our second production line with roughly 30% of our revenue was hand stacking of 40-pound bags. So that is a thing of the past within the next 60 days as we integrate our second line into the new robot. 1 minute. Okay, so questions, obviously you'll have to corner me afterwards. No dilution. We got another 1.9 million in equipment grants from Fortis BC, in addition to the 5.7 million that we got for pause glass. The best way I know to add value quickly to the balance sheet is through grants. Growth drivers, entry into lightweight, entry into geothermal, expanding product portfolio, pause glass and Gladiator, and we are now looking for our next acquisition. Investment highlights, robust cash flow, patent pending solutions, ownership of our own assets, and a disciplined management team. Thank you, and I got 15 seconds left.